Good people. I've screwed the foot. Let's see if I can rotate it. Oh no, that flips it up. Damn. Orientation. Okay, I got it.
Well, that's fine because more people will be able to see it in the shorts.
Oh shit.
That's
okay.
More people will be able to.
What's up, people? Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction. Gig Economy is here with me, and we literally have major breaking news. We'll see if anybody shows up here on this live. It's fitting.
You have one like, so people are coming through.
It's fitting because I literally here at the dump, the landfill, with Michael. If you lean in, you can see him.
Oh, the new home of the Dallas Cowboys.
The new home for the Dallas Cowboys, the landfill. Regina Green. Da da da. Oh no, it's ladies' night and I'm feeling right. Wow, not surprised. Actually, I kind of am, because I figured they would milk this shit for a little bit. Kellen Moore, head coach and company. Oh God, if they do that, I may just have to find another team. Sorry, if they hire Kellen Moore.
How much is laser removal surgery?
Oh shit.
No,
we the ones. Oh snap is right.
Kellen Moore's not bad.
I've got to get back to the man cave here so we can get this done properly, but just
at least get the ball started.
Just get the ball started. It's crazy because we were on the way here, and it's only about a 15-minute ride, and we were listening to NFL radio, which is kind of funny because normally we don't listen to NFL radio, but because we're listening to the Texans getting mollywopped coming down the road on Saturday.
The first half.
Yeah, the first half. In proceeding to turn it around, we had the NFL radio network on. So we're just riding, and normally I don't even have the radio on. And at first they had said that currently there was no substantive talks with Mike McCarthy, and that as of midnight tomorrow night he could talk to other teams. And so it was like, yeah, that's what I figured. And I was saying that typically that's what the Cowboys do. And I might say, I'm going to be the crazy one in the room here. I might say that this may not be the end of Mike McCarthy, because this is what the Cowboys do. They basically let you go out, make your own deal and so on. But if I why would I want to? I mean, you made some money. It's your name after Green Bay. Everybody realizes that, you know, it wasn't all your fault with the Packers, because Aaron Rodgers is a freaking idiot. And I may lose you guys here because there's bad cell service here on the way at the dump. So if I do, it'll come back. But yeah, that's the Cowboys way. You know, we're the Cowboys. You know, you need us more than we need you. But I'm beginning to think that that's not necessarily the case. And this is where I swear I kept saying to Dak, get out while you can, man. Get out while you can. The Joneses didn't give a rat's ass about protecting their investment. They don't care. There's no ramifications. There's no ramifications if we screw over Dak Prescott and let him get injured. What the fuck? We're still multi-billionaires. And the same about Mike McCarthy and the product they put out on the field. Everybody's going to talk about it. The crazy thing about the Cowboys is the more dysfunctional they are, the more people talk about it. Here we are. See, the Joneses did this shit because Kellen Moore and the Eagles are advancing, and Dan Quinn looks like a genius. And Jerry's done seen, you know, some of my videos, you know, where we look like freaking idiots. And all the Cowboys beat writers and stuff, they're putting out there, like guys like Dante Fowler that they didn't sign. They're trying to change the narrative here to get rid of the blowback, to deflect on their ineptitude. They're trying to say, it's that guy over there, Mike McCarthy. So now you're selling hope to Cowboy fans. Oh, Mike McCarthy, that loser coach is gone. Because that's what you guys said last year. when Dan Quinn was gone. Oh, thank God. We got rid of Dan Quinn, man. Dan Quinn sucks as a coach, man. He can't win in the playoffs. We got Mike Zimmer. Oh, yeah, Mike Zimmer, man. That guy, he's had great defenses and everything else. It's a winner. He's deflecting on the aptitude of what they're doing because they suck. They suck. Jerry and Stephen Jones, they suck. They can't even, I have said over and over again, I don't care if you keep Mike McCarthy or you move on from Mike McCarthy. Either way, there's pros and cons both ways. But whatever you do, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. You now have every team that is looking for a coach at least a week ahead of you. At least a week ahead of you. Mike Vrabel's already off the list. He's already off the list. The Jets, they started the process a long time ago. Same thing with the Bears. They've already set up interviews with guys. So who the hell would want to come to coach the Dallas Cowboys?
Didn't you say Mike Zimmer may not want to come back?
Well, it was looked at like Mike Zimmer, it's the Mike and Mike show. That if Mike McCarthy's gone, then Mike Zimmer's gone too. And you're going to lose Al Harris.
And the Saints are interested.
And Vrabel's already gone. Ben Johnson ain't coming here.
And the Saints are
Ben Johnson, listen, Ben Johnson you're not going to get paid at the top of the levels. Mike McCarthy was one of the cheapest coaches out there, hires. So they're not going to pay you a lot of money. They're not going to give you a lot of say-so on how you want to do the team because you're going to have Catboy talking about, how hard it is to sign players.
So Mike Tomlin's out.
Mike Tomlin, he's too expensive. He's getting $16 million a year. He don't want to come here for this shit. And maybe that's what happened. That Jerry Jones heard Jimmy Johnson saying, "How about a swap of coaches? Get Mike Tomlin. Maybe, let's get Mike Tomlin. Let's get Mike Tomlin." And see, this kind of messes up my day now. This messes up my day. You know why? Because I didn't tell you what I wanted to do. There is, on the way to Sorrento Lake, a furnace. You know what I'm talking about, furnace?
I know what a furnace.
Yeah, the brick furnace. It was a smelting furnace. The ruins for it, all the bricks and everything else. And I never really knew what a brick furnace, these furnaces stuff.
Look at it.
Exactly. I wanted to go look at it because it was kind of on the way back home. But they used to have brick furnaces close to the red brick house. So I wanted to go do a video for my, red brick house, Joe Boo's day job tip. I can't do that now because Jerry Jones done fucked up my day. He done fucked up my day.
Put on this for first thing tomorrow.
So now, I can't reach it. So now, here's what Jerry Jones has done to deflect. Oh, Rex Ryan to Dallas. Oh, shit.
Wait. So
you want drama? That'd be drama.
So is he trying to reflect from two of our coaches winning the playoffs?
That's what he's trying to do. Because now it's the mad scramble.
Because I don't hear anything.
The mad scramble. Who's going to replace him? Oh.
Because I don't hear anything about Washington or the Eagles.
He just got it.
And Kellen Moore just happened to coach an average.
Sexy Rexy might work. Oh,
no,
Lord.
No. You already had that, and that was a dumpster.
Jose, welcome to being a new channel member. Ding, 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 ding. Way to go.
I got 300 already.
336 in the house.
Oh, this one
Wow. Shout out to everybody out here. What about Kingsbury? Oh, my God. Queensbury.
Or Kingsbury, whatever his name is. He likes his job in Washington.
Yeah.
And he's still getting paid from the Cardinals.
And here's the problem here. A lot of times we think a coordinator is going to be a great head coach. But many times the coordinators fail because it's a different job. As a coordinator, you're the one who's there designing the defense. You have a philosophy of what you want to do, and you're working directly with the players to implement that. Norv Turner was one of the best offensive coordinators out there, but he sucked as a head coach. He just was not a good head coach. Because as a head coach, you are more of the CEO overseeing all of the people. You're the guy who's the face. You're dealing with the ownership and the things. You know, I look at it like Lincoln Riley. Oh shit.
No, that's a dumpster fire.
I look at it like this. I have worked for myself since 1994. And at one point, we were building like furniture stores, Bassett furniture stores, 25,000 square foot places. We built their warehouse. And I ended up being more of the paperwork face of my company and not actually doing the work. And I hated it. I am the kind of guy that would rather be there actually doing the work. I just am. And that's like Dan Quinn when he was working with Micah Parsons and crew, you know, getting his hands on with the players and things, as opposed to the mindless minutia of the paperwork and dealing with Jerry Jones. Garrett, oh my God, if they brought back Jason Garrett's
not going to leave his cushy job on Sunday Night Football. He ain't leaving that job.
Make sure y'all hit the like button for joining us here. Time to go get Belichick. Why would Belichick?
Belichick's in college. Belichick's coaching
in
college or recruiting or something.
I'm telling you,
good where he is.
This is not a good job. You know what's crazy? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, yeah, Jerry Jones has literally fired the 4 winningest coaches in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. He fired Tom Landry. He got rid of Jimmy Johnson. Jason Garrett probably had the 3rd most wins, and Mike McCarthy probably had the 4th most. He has literally fired every single one of them. Al Harris. I wanted to see Al Harris. I would love to see him as defensive coordinator. Maybe he convinces Mike Zimmer. I don't know. Maybe he convinces Mike Zimmer to be the head coach.
Hey, I'll give you 10. I'll give you 10.
John Gruden. Well, John Gruden's got a lawsuit where he's suing the NFL.
I know he ain't going to the Cowboys. That's a pipe.
Again, and here's the problem with John Gruden, y'all. See, so many times people fall in love with the name. John Gruden, yes, he won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, but it wasn't the team he built. When that team got old, they sucked. They went down the toilet. When he got to the Raiders, they got rid of Khalil Mack and did nothing with all the picks that they got. So yeah, again, and that's another guy that's got baggage. Ron Rivera. Oh, geez. People, the names you're putting out there, they're no better than than Mike McCarthy. But we're now deflecting on the real problem.
And that's what they want you to do.
The real problem is still Jerry and Stephen Jones and their mindset of, we can take our time hiring a new coach.
What did Jerry Jones say back in the day? I can win a Super Bowl with any coach.
Yeah, well, he said, yeah, with the team I put together, any number of 500 people. Well, you haven't put together that team, or is it that you've hired 501, 502, 503 of the possibilities?
Almost 400.
Yeah, this is insane, man. This is insane. So, Brian Flores, he ain't coming here. He is suing the NFL. He's got a lawsuit against them for racial, God, my brain's not even working. But for being fired by Miami, racial hiring practices. Bro, Lieutenant Ray, that's exactly it. We're gonna get an ass coach. Ass. That's all. We're gonna get toaster leavings, man. Nobody good. If you are Ben Johnson and you have a chance to go to Jacksonville or to Chicago or to the Jets and have free reign to do what you want to do, or you're going to come to the Cowboys where you're going to be used up and spit out and have no say, and you're going to be the fall guy. Which one are you going to do? I don't want Zimmer. Nowhere.
That might be all we have.
Nowhere. Gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Okay. How about Urban Meyer? Oh my God! Did you guys see how much of a disaster Urban Meyer was with Jacksonville?
They only won one game.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
They only won one game that season.
Are you serious? Oh my God! You know, maybe, and maybe this is good. Here's the thing with Cowboys: they like people they're familiar with. So maybe it would be, we'll hire Al Harris, or it might be Jason Witten.
They were talking about that too. About a month or so ago.
Kellen Moore we brought in, mark it down.
Well, I mean,
Al Harris would probably go to the Commanders. We're about Eric B.A.M. Yeah, because he did so great when he was in Washington, right? Okay. Kellen Moore, Gruden, Troy Aikman isn't going to come here and coach. You don't even know if Troy Aikman can coach.
He has a cushy job.
And he's sitting there dealing with CTE from all the concussions.
He doesn't remember the Super Bowls he went to.
Jason Witten is the head coach for his high school.
How's that going to translate to him?
Deion ain't going to come here. Deion's already said the only way he'll go to the NFL is if you get both my kids. If I can coach.
And why would he want to go to a team where he doesn't have free reign? That's the only reason.
Who's the top candidates? Unfortunately, there's not a lot of choices of realistic ones.
Probably Mike Zimmer, if he wants to stay.
I'm sorry, I can't really read the comments because I am driving, but I'll be back to the Red Brick House soon.
Almost 450.
Jay Gruden. Oh my God, people are just throwing out names and not having a clue as to what happened with them. Ben Johnson turned down almost $14 million with Washington. Too expensive. I'm gonna be careful.
We're almost there where we need to be.
Jerry should hire Steven as the coach. Might as well. He'll probably promote from within. If it's gonna be within, I'm gonna say it would have to be Mike Zimmer or Al Harris. They're saying the Longhorn coach, yeah, Steve Sarkisian, that's a possibility. Kirby Smart, Tony Who, not Lincoln Riley.
No, he's a dumpster fire.
Zim getting elevated. We screwed up next year with this. Okay. We made it to the playoffs with Garrett, bro. You think Mike would be taking us to the Super Bowl? Again, it's still... The problem still is whether you bring in a great coach is the mentality of the Joneses. That's the problem. You've got to go ahead and get past this whole thing of it's just the coach. You have to get past this whole thing that it's Dak Prescott, that we can't win because our quarterback sucks. Guys, when you literally have an owner who's telling you how great, we don't need Amari Cooper because we got Jalen Tolbert. That Jalen Tolbert, yeah, he's, or you get him out here, you know what, I can't wait to see when Jonathan Brooks is out there, you know he's great. Or that Ryan Fanoy, he's got Des Bryant in him. He's selling you a bunch of bullshit, man. He's selling you a bunch of bullshit. That's all we got is a bunch of bullshit. There are coaches that can overcome Jerry. But see, here's the thing, though. There's a difference. When Jimmy was here, Jimmy took care of the football operations. Jimmy was the one that made the wheeling and dealing and evaluated the talent. The problem was Jerry wanted all the credit for it. And so he literally got rid of Jimmy to make a point that I'm the guy who built the team. Terrence Lacey.
Yeah, watch. If you ever get a chance, watch the full clip of How About Them Cowboys.
Right.
Because Jerry Jones teams.
He's team when Jimmy's up there, yeah. You know.
This ain't nothing about to Jerry about his involvement.
Right. And so this is all about Jerry Jones saying, I'm building the team. And so now, what Jimmy Johnson did for building the team, making all of the trades and making all of these moves, they don't do. They don't do. They don't. And now it's Jerry and Stephen Jones. See, you had Jerry and them bring in Deion Sanders. And what happened with Stephen Jones? Stephen Jones allegedly threw his dad against the wall and said, no, we don't want to spend that money. You literally have him.
He actually admits that,
yeah.
too.
You literally now have them, looking for bargains. When our free agency, what's the USFL doing? Okay, let's sign those guys. Let's sign guys who have been out of football for a while because they're cheap. They don't want to spend money on the players. So what you used to have was Jimmy Johnson making trades left and right to bring in talent like a conveyor belt to find good people and willing to go ahead and make moves for guys like Charles Haley and Deion Sanders, right? Now you got Jerry and Steven saying, oh, let's go out here and get, Carl Lawson. That's not the same as going out and getting Charles Haley. You got them going out and getting linebackers like Anthony Barr that have a torn ACL.
Don't even get started on Derrick Henry.
Oh, we don't want to pay a Derrick Henry. We don't want to pay. Bobby Wagner wanted to come here 4 years ago.
Yeah, with Dan Quinn. And look what he's doing with Washington.
I hate this team.
He's making a difference in Washington.
I hate this team, y'all. I washed up Stephon Gilmore.
Well, Clinton Dix that just has a cup of coffee.
What the coach he will do is he'll hire another puppet. He'll hire another guy that he can keep under his thumb, and him and Stephen Jones. See, because here's where, again, this is all about Jerry. It's all about Jerry. Because on the week that the Commanders and the Eagles are elevated to the playoffs, Jerry Jones will be out here having press conferences about, how great the Cowboys are and our standards and all this other bullshit. And everybody will be running, trying to figure out who, oh Lord, Mark went. Self-made. Steelers and Dallas have the same problem, organizational. They are cheap, but for different reasons.
No.
Y'all can have Mike Tomlin, please. Thank you for the super chat.
They're not cheap. The Steelers are not cheap because they're paying their head coach $16 million.
No head coach, and now need a defensive, Stay healthy, please. Cowboys are not worth the stress. Mark, I text you, we're going to be horrible again. Yeah, we may be. I'm done with the Cowboys. Jerry has ruined this franchise. I would be happy with Mike Tomlin. Kellen Moore. He's 16 million. Mike Tomlin is 16 million. 16 million. Jason Witten.
I don't know if Jason Witten wants to deal with this dumpster fire.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons, man, and CD.
Well, Micah Parsons did say he'll go wherever Dan Quinn goes. So he might have went to Washington if he was a free agent.
We wasted CD's prime, just like we wasted Dak's, just like we wasted
a whole bunch of Zeke Elliott,
God, Tony Romo,
Zach Martin,
Cliff Kingsbury. Oh Lordy! See again, none of these moves that you guys are talking about are making this team any better. It's all a deflection, y'all. Now I'm gonna get in here so I can get to the bat cave. Oh my goodness. Greg Roman, he cannot coach black quarterbacks. Greg Roman, okay. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. What about Robert Saleh? Oh my God. Saleh, who just failed with Aaron Rodgers. Okay, y'all just throwing out names of just. Oh, you'll take anybody. People who literally just failed. You'll say, let's do that. This is ridiculous. This is freaking insane. Trey? Oh my God. Terrence Lacey. They messed around and get Bob Soups. Let me get upstairs to the man cave, y'all. It's crazy. Mark, it's hard to coach a team when Jerry is not. That's you just hit the nail on the head. It's hard to coach a team when Jerry and Stephen Jones are doing this kind of stuff. That's the problem. That's the problem. 100%. That 100%. That's the problem. It's hard to coach a team when you got idiots out there like the Joneses that are literally screwing up everything. Oh boy. All right, we're back at the man cave. Clown show in Dallas. Now here's the problem. Do I go ahead and switch up and go to my regular software, or just, I guess I can just stay here, right here where we are. Let's see if we see it. Okay. Nope, it's not there. All right, so I'm using my cell phone, but I'm looking here on my stuff here. Shout out to everybody who's in the house. We are just getting here with the Kellen Moore will be your next head coach. Couldn't guess a name currently. Jason Witten. Dak's got to be pissed. Yeah, I mean, this is where literally your players are saying, hey, let's go back and get, let's keep it together. And they're literally just basically saying, screw you, we don't care. Now, 105 The Fan is saying there's an impasse.
We just saw Mike Vrabel was hired by New England. He just had his press conference, but there's other jobs available.
Real quick,
we're listening to 105.
You just pointed out Vrabel's having his press conference as the news broke.
Okay.
The Cowboys news breaks. Robert Kraft gets covered up by Jerry Jones.
See, it's all about Jerry.
It never will be.
Back to you, Mike.
So you have other jobs where they have $50 to $100 million of cap space. Maybe they have a quarterback, maybe they don't.
Sure.
You have a quarterback here who's locked in. You have no salary cap room. You don't have a lot of draft picks. You do have your normal
so in other words,
draft picks. You have a few more.
If you're fourth.
Right. But you have the comp picks or whatever. But you don't have like 1 first, 2 seconds. You know, like you're very limited here over the next 3 years on what you can do to this team. You do have a great defensive player in Micah Parsons. You have a great receiver. You have a quarterback who is getting hurt on a consistent basis. When he's healthy, he's usually good, but not great. I'm just throwing this out to you. Maybe, Corey, you can be the first to take this. I already have an answer for your question. Okay, Kevin, how much do you look at this job versus the others and just go, I'm just looking at the team and what I can do over the next 3 years?
The type, and that's why I think the type of person you will draw
the Cowboys, we are a freaking
I need
joke.
A job candidate is the I can fix them candidate. And like, that can be good if it works, but it can be disastrous because essentially, why would you come here? If you're like, let's just use Ben Johnson as an example. He seems to be somebody that like a lot of different teams want. Okay, if you're Ben Johnson, why would you go to the Cowboys?
Exactly. If you're Ben Johnson, why would you come to the Cowboys?
We think, and a lot of money. It's because you know everything will be on you in Dallas. And if you believe in yourself that much or have that much of an ego, then you're going to be at least kind of interested in this job because you're going to know whatever you do in life, it doesn't matter. If the Chargers win the Super Bowl, that's going to be cool and that's going to be awesome on
I don't agree with that. I think it's a bad job.
He would have come here and won the Super Bowl, it's legendary forever. I think that's
or
the
you get burned out and thrown in the trash.
The name you just mentioned, I know, would have taken this job, and that is Harbaugh. And I think that would have gotten everybody pretty darn excited. Problem is, I don't know that Jerry really would have wanted a Harbaugh.
He wouldn't want a Harbaugh.
If that coach comes in here and wins a championship, who's getting the credit then? It's that coach.
Yeah.
Right? And it does seem like from how the Cowboys are going about this whole coaching cycle right
supposedly
now,
Bill Belichick has a $10 million buyout.
Doing some interviews when everybody else
Dallas
has
to
already
look
done some
for
of
a
those.
new head
Teams already
coach. Both
hired a
sides
coach.
couldn't agree on a
Right to the party
contract.
again, which is a theme with this football team. But I really think Jerry
Snoop
believes
Dogg
what
is
he said
head
when
coach.
him and Jimmy parted ways. Anybody could coach this team. What was the
Unbelievable,
number?
people.
500 coaches.
Unbelievable.
I really think he believes as long as
Unfortunately, Jerry Jones literally said any number of 500 people could have coached. Unfortunately, he must have hired 501, 502, 503.
He does not care as much as
the one and only Ron Don. Mike McCarthy is
Mike,
gone.
this kind of is built into your question. My concern is, and I've used this analogy before, that Jerry still thinks the Cowboys are Notre Dame in the 80s.
That's it.
People don't have
he thinks that everybody wants to be here in Dallas.
Will argue the Cowboys
Shout out to everybody who's in here instead of being at work, taking care of business and everything else.
I still think
if you're just tuning in, hit the like button. We've been on here for 30 minutes finding out that
because it's the Cowboys.
Mike McCarthy has left the building.
Even though this is the biggest
Stephen Jones will be our next coach.
You can still go to other places and still have great runs, and you don't need the Cowboys as much as I think he thinks people do.
Yeah, he thinks that everybody wants to be them boys.
The question is, if I'm a coach out there, Ben Johnson,
Holmes,
that's who whoever.
It doesn't even hit.
A quarterback that's stuck at $89 million. I know I'm going to redo it, but I have no cap space. I can't bring in 4 players from the Detroit Lions. I don't have the money to do it. I only have a first-round pick and then a second-round pick, and then from there, it gets really tough to have impact players as a rookie. I don't really have much here. I do have a great defensive player. I do have a great wide receiver, but I don't have much to change this team over the next 3 years. If you really look at
Mike McCarthy is out as head coach after his contract expires.
How bad
for Tom Pacero.
I want this job.
Mike McCarthy now expected to return to Dallas, now set to become a free agent.
And I'm not saying the Cowboys are the worst. They
Cowboys
are not,
owner didn't allow Mike McCarthy to interview for the Bear head coaching job, only to fire him days later.
And then how I can
Mike McCarthy is out as head coach. And see, probably they wanted to do, we'll just do a 1-year extension.
I'm just looking at them. The Bears are really
the sides couldn't agree on the length of contract, and McCarthy will pursue other opportunities. He leaves Dallas with a winning record and 3 playoff appearances.
You got an elite receiver grouping there. You got a young quarterback that you can work with. Pretty good defense.
If he hires a bum.
And that Bears,
if he hires a bum,
it's a tough division. Who cares?
And we do what we always do in free agency. The fans are going to check out.
Splash name. The Jets aren't a splash. It's the Jets. You got to deal with the Jets. The Saints aren't a splash. It's the Saints.
Way more screwed
up. Okay, here we go. More breaking news here.
Nobody wants to be there. So the Cowboys' name splashes.
Hold on. Here's more breaking news here with the Mike McCarthy. They couldn't. Okay, let me catch everybody up because we got a lot of people that just joined here. We've been on live here for about the last 30 minutes or so. Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys could not come to a length of term resolution for the contract. And so as of midnight tomorrow night, Mike McCarthy is technically no longer part of the Dallas Cowboys organization. And here's what we're hearing. This is from Ed Warder. Mike McCarthy has informed his coaching staff that he will not be returning as head coach as his contract expires. My sources indicate there was conflicting dialogue between McCarthy and Jones, and no contract was ever offered. The Bears have confirmed interest in Mike McCarthy, and it's expected the Saints will as well. McCarthy will become an NFL player caller, has become an NFL player caller for the first time in New Orleans, and worked with GM Mickey Loomis. So, like Rob Ryan said, I'll be unemployed for 5 minutes. So that's where we are with this thing. Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys are parting ways, and now we're all left wondering. Sitting here looking at the chat, I can't wait to see what Micah Parsons. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be sitting here. Let me explain to you. Micah Parsons podcast, sometimes it's at 8 o'clock, sometimes it's at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I will be here because I will try and do this thing. I got to watch it live because maybe under, for all we know, maybe the conversations that Micah Parsons had with Jerry Jones was maybe we need to go differently. Maybe we need to go in a different direction. And, because we know he said Mike McCarthy can get another job. The guys I feel bad for are Zach Martin. Let me try and turn this around to another way. Let me actually let me look up. I don't have the football gods here, but football gods that are back in the man cave. Joe Boo, who's holding a piece of cheese still. That's moldy cheese, and the funky chicken. Look, and the funky chicken, okay? The funky chicken, maybe this is a reset button, and he's going to let go Mike McCarthy, and we don't know about Will McClay. Oh, that's going to be a try. Okay? Maybe this is, we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually try and do it like other teams. Because maybe, I'm going to say some crazy shit here. I'm going to say some crazy shit about this situation. Because, see, here's the thing. In life, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with somebody who's been, has an abusive problem, okay? A substance abuse problem, okay? An alcoholic, a drug addict, a sexaholic like Dirty Sanchez might be or whatever. But what happens is you will not change until you hit rock bottom and got nowhere else to go. And maybe, just maybe, the Dallas Cowboys having the ass season where everything that Jerry Jones did sucked and blew up in his face. Every single one of them. Letting go the 9 free agents, saying we're going all in, we're going to do more with less, Catboy and everything else, that now seeing that, and one of the guys that you looked at and said, hey, well, we'll bring him back if he doesn't get another job. So you wanted to bring back a guy who couldn't get a job. Okay. But he gets a job. He takes members of your staff, takes some of your players, and now look like their star is shining bright. That's right. I said star. That their star is shining bright. That the Eagles, which have been out there doing big things, both of those teams are going to the divisional round. And chances are, one or both of them could be to the NFC Championship game. While you are sitting at home watching your guys looking like well-oiled machines, and your team looks like ass. And you woke up this morning, and you realize, what the hell is the shit that I have? And maybe he ends up letting go Mike McCarthy, and he gets a real GM. I don't think it'll happen. Again, this is, shit. He decides we're going to actually do the right thing, and we're going to have to change what we're doing. We're going to change the way we eat. We're going to change the way we run. We're going to change how we do the front office. And we're going to get a real football person in here to fix this shit. That would be the hope. It's not going to be the reality, but that would be the hope. And the hope would be is we're going to get a GM who's going to figure out the coach and the coaching situations. More than likely, this is Jerry Jones just deflecting on his mistakes and finding a fall guy for it. In the end, I bet Mike McCarthy is going to be better off than the Cowboys will. The Cowboys have to make a real move. The Cowboys have to do something to win back the fans because after having this disgusting season, If the only thing we do is change the coach, then we're going to be shit again. And we're going to be starting from zero. So expect next year to be ass. Just will. That just did you check with Tracy? Okay. Well, if Jerry finally do something, that would be the hope, that Jerry Jones finally does something. Stephen Jones is the future, not a good future, but the future. Deion Sanders just named Dallas' newest head coach. Okay. I mean, maybe it's Steve Sarkisian. Maybe they decide we're going to go with the college coach.
It's not going to be Deion Sanders because he wants control.
Jerry Jones is better off hiring the guy from State Farm.
Oh, the brother from State Farm.
What's up, Lola? How you doing? Lady Lieber in the house. It's about time. Let's go. But again, here's the thing. I'm okay with the idea of getting rid of Mike McCarthy, but that's not the only problem we got, people. Actually, I actually thought what I think it is here's what happened. They thought that they would just be able to get Mike McCarthy there, and he's going to be their punching bag. That he's going to be Ben Johnson. Please stop Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson ain't coming here, bro. The Ben Johnson is too expensive. Too expensive.
Not enough. See.
Kellen Moore and Zim shaking my head.
Does Kellen Moore need the limelight? Because he's okay
Ooh.
in the shadows.
So, shout out to the 600 people in the house. Make sure you hit the like button. Dak is the culprit. What do you mean, Dak? What are you talking about? Dak is the culprit.
This is not the Aaron Rodgers situation.
Jerry can take Jerry should have been taking the heat all along.
Not to take the heat.
Sources: Mike McCarthy won't return as head coach. Mike McCarthy will not return. His contract to combat Cowboys ended last Wednesday, but the team held it. Okay, blah blah. It's the same stuff that we got. There's nothing out here more than what I passed on to you guys. Mike McCarthy, Zimmer coming back. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. As Mike McCarthy, let me say again with feeling. Mike McCarthy has informed the coaches that he will not be returning. Al Harris, you know what? At this point, I would say this. This would be a crazy one. As we go through and start talking about John Gruden and retreads and Robert Saleh, I would give Al Harris a shot before I give those guys, because at least I know he knows the inner workings of this defense and the defensive backs, and he's a young guy that would definitely be somebody who would be all in.
Wow.
What?
Long Mason not even live.
Nobody's live? Wow.
I'm surprised Long Mason not live.
Kellen coming back. Oh my God! If they bring back Kellen Moore,
That's crazy.
Kellen Moore. Nobody wants this head coaching job. So let's listen back to 105.
He made the decision for whatever.
Let's listen to more of.
So, we promised we would go to the people. Let's go to the people.
Let's go to the
start
people.
with line number 1, Wayne in Athens. Wow. What the heck do you think about this whole thing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
So, we are in a spot that I think is a lot worse
we're in a
than
spot,
people
a
realize,
terrible spot.
Because with Mike gone, unless Zimmer's the head coach, then we're going to have 3 different defensive coordinators in 3 years.
Yep,
We
can't
saw
win that
what
way.
happened last year with the slow start. If Zimmer's not going to be the head coach, then you're
Same
going to
thing
have
I'm
somebody
saying,
else come
people.
in. The biggest thing to me is that Jerry does not
Jerry bringing his son?
fault, because it all starts at the beginning. The way that they structure these contracts, flip these switches, and put all the money on the back end makes it where you can't trade anybody. Nobody has value because all the
Because they're worn
is
out.
going to be on the team that wants to take the player. When's the last time we got a 3rd-round pick or better for any trade piece?
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. It's been a really long time. Now, that's something that I've been preaching for a long time, is I don't like the way the Cowboys run their salary cap. And I saw somebody text in and said, you could theoretically create up to $100 million in salary cap room. That's not incorrect. But I don't think that the Cowboys have the stomach to do that for their new coach or anybody else.
They will, for their locker room's sake, they will have their 3 stars under contract.
Sure.
I mean, Mike is going to be under contract.
I agree.
That's reality. They will have that so they can go, well, we don't have to, the culture is going to be there because those 3 guys.
Oh, that's what I thought
they're
the
gonna
fan.
tell us. The culture right now just doesn't look good. And it really does rely on a coach to either come in and say, guys, I'm giving y'all the culture, y'all take it. Or the coach to come in and say, I am going to create the culture in this room. And that's something that they're going to preach. Every coach.
The sad part about all this is
every coach
it doesn't matter.
Says, I got to change the culture in that locker room. That's going to be the first thing.
Who you bring as coach if you continue to do everything the same?
They're going to say, the Cowboys are going to say, we're good because we're going to have CD, Dak, and Micah under contract, and we feel comfortable knowing that they're here.
I hadn't even really thought about the defensive coordinator change.
No, I was
Yeah,
wondering,
everything
like,
changes.
I'm sure that Jerry will try to sell Mike Zimmer.
Mark, my
sure.
fear is they move up
But
Zimmer,
I don't know.
but he doesn't look
Let's
like
get
doesn't
wild
look
here.
the
Let's go to
same.
line number 9. This is Tommy in Atlantic City. Tommy, what are we to
Wow.
make of all of this?
It's some bullshit, man. That's what we make of it.
So initially, I didn't want McCarthy back. I'm like, I can't take him anymore. He's driving me nuts.
I don't have a problem with that, but the question is what are you going to do that's going to be better?
He's not coming back, and I hope he stuck it to Jerry, where Jerry wanted him back and was lowballing. Because I've been a long-time fan living in Jersey. Now I live out in the Philly suburbs, which is sickening, as you guys could only imagine. But it's just, I don't have faith in
I'm in
Jerry
shock,
anymore.
actually. I really am
I lost
shocked.
it after last year. I can't take it anymore. I'm saying to my friends, I'm just like, my team's going to stink again next year. It doesn't matter who the coach is going to be. And one of my buddies, I just told that McCarthy's out. He's like,
can't
we need a
believe that
wow
nobody
coach. I'm
else
like,
is
we're
out
going to
here
get a
with
wow
this right
coach,
now.
but we're not going to get the wow. We're going to be, wow, this is great. It's going to be like, wow, what the hell
Stacey
are you
White,
doing now?
Mark, stop. You don't know
Agreed.
anything.
That is what I
And are
was
feeding the
thinking when
Jones
you said a
piece.
wild coach. I
Jones
was like,
been
that's gonna
blind
be the
30
negative
years and won't
connotation.
change.
Tell
Too
Tommy about
late
the
to get
housing
back
market
the
here
help you
and
need.
all that. You're
It
gonna
could
try to
be.
get him to move. Well, he sounds like he's miserable living in kind of that.
Thank you for letting me know. I know absolutely nothing. I appreciate that, Stacey, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I really don't know anything. I that's where we're just throwing shit on the wall here. But you're right. It's too late. Is Diggs' knee done? Which one? Getting the cartilage operation doesn't bode well. It doesn't bode well getting the cartilage operation on there. Stop crying about Dak. The Bears want to have a word with Mike McCarthy, as well as it's what's believed. Bill Belichick coming in. That's where they're going. Now, there is a $10 million buyout from North Carolina. So maybe that's the case. They need a Walker Wade. They're going to have to do something big. They're going to have to do something big to win back the fans. Diggs is done. Dave, yeah, we've been on here for going on 50 minutes now, and it's just really beginning to hit the wire. I'm going to listen to let's listen to Rich Eisen. He just broke this as well.
You could see it coming.
You can see it
The
coming.
question is, when would it happen? And then we found out maybe it might not happen. It being Mike McCarthy being retained as the head coach of the Dallas
Brian
Cowboys.
Schottenheimer is under him.
Jerry Jones had all the way till Tuesday to make a decision. It's when his contract and that of the assistants would be up, and they needed to get something done. Otherwise, they would then be in the same coaching carousel as everybody else looking for a head coach.
They should have started
And you
that
want to
process.
be early on that front because you want to get in the front of the line with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly
But
when
no, we're always
in
late.
this day and age you have to wait to interview people if they're involved in the playoffs. If you don't get them in the window that they're available to
Shout
be
out to Jonathan
talked
Flores, new channel
while
member.
they're
Ding,
in
ding,
the
ding, ding, ding,
playoffs.
ding, ding, ding,
So you
ding,
got to
ding.
be early. You got to be quick. Or you got to be the Jets who fire somebody in week 6. That's true. And there were
Would
3
love
teams
Gruden,
that
let's
had to
go.
jump on it. So if you're
Before
Jerry
he goes over,
Jones,
you can save us.
the here it comes part for breaking news takes a while. And it's
Hey,
finally
Mark,
hit.
is Jason Witten next
According
up?
to Tom
We've heard that
Pelissero and
name.
various
A
other
good dox
members
is
of
always in order before packing
NFL
up.
news and information
Good with
community.
nutrients.
Mike McCarthy
Okay,
is
definitely
not
check that out.
coming
Stay up.
back.
Wish you well. Appreciate that.
It was apparently a length of contract disagreement. And I don't know what that means, but for a guy that spent the entire year with no extra time on his contract past this year, I'm sure he wanted some form of security.
And I wouldn't blame him
clearly were
one
not
bit.
willing to give. And they are going their separate ways. And the Dallas Cowboys will indeed now be in the market for a new head coach.
Yep.
The problem is
everybody's already ahead of them.
The schedule
Boys in blue, I'm
that's
with you on
being
that.
laid
I'm
out
tired of
because the
retreads as
NFL
well.
doesn't want coaches involved in divisional playoff weekend and then wild card weekend and then championship weekend if that happens to be flying all over the country and having conversations in person. And some are allowed to do it on.
Okay. Ed Werder tweeted out. Oh God, this is. Oh my God. This is crazy. Kellen Moore has to be a top candidate to succeed Mike McCarthy. Played quarterback in Dallas. Can he really say he played quarterback? Has been Dak Prescott's teammate and play caller. Began coaching career under Jason Garrett. Offense has historic success with him as McCarthy's play caller. Just won playoff game with Eagles and called plays with them in the season, and they've been the most dominant rushing team in the league. Oh, God. Oh, however, we know Jerry Jones is going to be selling the gullible fans hope. Kellen coming back. Please take more from my Eagles. Hell no to Kellen Moore. Oh, my God. Please don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. Oh. This is crazy, man. No more, please. Yeah, Eagle fans, please take Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore comes back from Dracula's cave. Oh, my God. Talking all that crap about Kellen Moore all year long. Now he's going to be your head coach. That's funny. Bye, bump and log, McCarthy. Dan Quinn would have been good as a Dallas head coach, and he's ours now. More is less, or less is more. Thank goodness that was just an opinion. You know, saying about opinions. Kellen Moore as head coach and Sela as defense coordinator would be good. Jerry's an actor now. He's thinking about building a championship team. He's not thinking about Bill or Gruden over Moore any day of the week. Bro, take a hit. It's way better, Stone. I doubt Kellen Moore even takes that job. Linda, feel sorry for Dallas fans. This is a process of Jerry Jones for selling tickets. Yeah. He's selling hope, guys. Mike Zimmer has the inside path. I don't know about that. I don't know. This is insane. Back to
Zoom, but not after a certain amount of times. It's a very difficult process to make heads or tails about if you're just on the outside looking in, or even if you're involved in it, which is why you got to be early. I think the Jets have probably interviewed about 20 candidates, the way it feels to me.
Yep. Jets are way in it.
Speed dating. The Bears have already interviewed, I think, 13 candidates, and they're, according to Tom
we just
Pelissero,
finally decided
to see if Marcus Freeman's available.
We'll get a new coach.
All that to say is the Cowboys are now in the coaching, interviewing market late, but that's part and parcel of everything else that the Dallas Cowboys do. They're late to sign their quarterback, and they're late to sign their wide receiver, and we'll find out if they're late to sign their defensive pass rusher extraordinaire in Micah Parsons. We assume they will be, but that's just the way they do business. That said, who wants to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? I imagine there are lots of people, and this is going to get crazy, people.
Crazy.
It's going to get totally nuts because everybody that you mentioned, from Ben Johnson and everybody else that you want to get who's currently in the NFL playoffs that you could have gotten to, like everybody else did in the last week, the Cowboys are now going to have to wait. They're going to have to wait. And in that interim, who's going to fill the vacuum? You know it. Names like Prime. Dion.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing that everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Dion.
You're going to hear, I'm sure, Kellen Moore's name is going to pop up.
Dude,
scratch UNC a $10 million check.
You're not aiming high enough. I'm talking about
top tier.
I'm talking about somebody handing Bill Belichick a Carolina blue cocktail napkin and say, "Here's a pen. Write, I resign as the HC of UNC."
Yep.
And you come to Dallas.
Mr. Cowboy, I have no idea, man.
The one guy that the Dallas Cowboys cannot hire
no idea.
is being introduced as the 16th head coach of the New England Patriots, who they could have had last year, and they bounced their guy early enough.
It's going to. He's going to. Jerry's going to have to do something big.
They are going. I mean, they're. I don't know. You hear the name John Gruden, that he could come off of Big Cat's couch.
Oh, that would be incredible.
You know.
Oh boy.
And you know he could be done. You know, partying with the Barstool guys.
He's having a good time. It looks like.
and he could come back.
I love it.
That ain't gonna happen.
I love it. It's going to be a big splashy name. It has to be.
It has to be.
It
literally has to be a big name.
He does normally do that, but
Rex Ryan. Yeah. Rex Ryan will probably be a candidate.
And Bill
And he did with Parcells.
Yeah.
And I guess you could say what was Switzer a splash hire?
Name wise,
it was a name, but I disagree. Like Jason Garrett wasn't a name. Shane Gailey wasn't a name.
Campbell wasn't a name.
No. Wade Phillips had a name, but he wasn't a name for.
And
have fun with the Giants next season. Go Birds.
I mean, he was a Super Bowl
Bobby.
winner. So
Come on,
how about this one? I'm going to throw one out there. You mentioned Jason Garrett. What was he? Former Cowboy quarterback. But Tony Romo.
Tony Romo's not coming out for that shit.
No. He's got Romo's. First of all, Romo's not taking the pay cut.
I remember saying this when he first started the gig, and people were like, "No, there's no way."
I don't think he. I think he.
I don't know, man. Rich, you talked
We're
about how
just a
smart he
mess,
is on the
guys.
grease board.
I know
feel
that.
like Romo could coach him up.
You'd have to take a
This
pay cut.
coaching, it's more than just X's and O's and saying let's unlock Dak. By the way, that's that one I shall reject upon hearing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Dion as well. You know, I know he said on Good Morning America, was it where it was on, that he wants to coach his sons.
Yeah, both of them.
He wants to make sure.
So how are you going to make that one work out?
Yep. And that's just, I think, a way of.
You got news?
You know, and I think then the next question was, well, wait a minute, you know, are you happy at Colorado?
The list of
happy at
possible-
Most of them already
He
said.
told us that
Ron
he was in
Rivera.
negotiations
No.
because he wanted
Kellen
to look out
Moore.
and see
No.
his face
John
on
Gruden.
on the side of the
No.
mountain, right?
Robert Saleh.
Arizona.
No.
And
Jason Witten.
they
No.
can't- They're not
That's
getting
only
Shador.
five.
They're too
None of the
far down.
above.
And plus, you know, if you're,
Dion is a Jedi.
I thought that was just Dion's way of saying.
I would say I'd put Steve Sarkisian in that list.
But maybe he does want to.
And
coach
Bill
the Dallas
Belichick.
Cowboys. That is something that would entice any other human being on the planet that's in the coaching industry, period, end of story. And I am sure there are folks in Western Pennsylvania who would love to just say, swap, take our coach. And I'm wondering if the Dallas Cowboys would be interested in that. On Overreaction Monday, because you sent a text to me over
Yeah,
the
Mike
weekend.
Tomlin. Mike Tomlin would be too
Johnson
expensive for the
said this on
Cowboys'
Fox.
case.
Oh, I was ahead of everybody.
But you sent this. You
Al
sent
Harris,
this, like,
yeah. I
2
mentioned
days
that.
ago. Yeah. And I said, put it in Overreaction Monday. You're like, how about the Steelers and the Cowboys swap coaches?
Yep. That was Jimmy Johnson's idea.
And would Tomlin be interested in an Andy Reid type change of venue? Would he be interested in, okay, well, Dak's definitely better than what I got here. And I can bring a change of culture down to Dallas. And I know what Jerry Jones's MO is, but he doesn't change coaches a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He does not. I mean, he's not the Rooney's.
No.
Okay.
But he keeps guys a little bit longer.
But he can be that guy who just says to Tomlin, calls the Steelers up, and then the Steelers replace him with the toll taker from Pittsburgh named Mike McCarthy, who can maybe bring an offensive mindset that Steelers fans would love. Or McCarthy doesn't come home and they go ahead, the Steelers, and get some new, young, offensive-minded head coach with a CEO mentality and say, how would you like to spend the next 20 years of your profession here, just like every one of your predecessors, pretty much? And this whole thing is now in play. All of it. Everything I just said is what I meant by how this is just going to be crazy.
This is crazy. It is crazy.
Nuts. Now, the leading candidates to pursue Mike, according to Ian Rappaport, are the Saints and the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
McCarthy, I believe, has history with the Saints as well. I think
he does.
He started there before going to San Francisco.
The Saints were the first team I started hearing.
Right.
Interesting.
And then the Bears, I mean...
And Dion is trending now.
Who, according to Tom Pelissero, would like to talk to Marcus Freeman as well.
Okay.
And if Marcus Freeman is available to be talked to, maybe the Cowboys do that too.
Yeah, McCarthy was Saints OC, 2000 to 2004.
Okay. All right, so let's go through here. Let's recap. Shout out to everybody who's been hanging with us here with the breaking news that Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys could not come to an agreement, okay, in the length of the contract. And with Mike McCarthy going through the last year of his deal, I'm sure that the Cowboys wanted to get him on a one-year deal and say, we want to keep the speculation going. And he probably said, I want a 3 or 4 year deal, and you're going to pay me a better rate. And the Cowboys, which are dirt cheap, basically said El Paso, and we can, put anybody there. It really doesn't matter who the coach is as long as Jerry Jones is our GM. We are cooked, Mark. I agree with you, Ro. So now the process is just beginning where the Dallas Cowboys are behind everybody else. The Jets have probably interviewed 15 people by now. They have literally gone through and have been doing the homework. The Bears, which were interested in speaking with Mike McCarthy, will get their opportunity tomorrow after midnight. And we're hearing, of course, that the New Orleans Saints may be interested in him as well. Now, the Cowboys, speculation is going to be through the roof. This is where literally every talking head out there is happy as shit. Because Jerry Jones basically lets us know an hour before New England is about to announce Mike Vrabel as their head coach, steps in front of this. So that will be kind of like a non-topic. The fact that the Washington Commanders with the left hand up, who are we, the Commanders, with basically 4 coaches and 4 players from your staff that you figured we're better off without because you refused to re-sign them, are going to the divisional round with a rookie quarterback. That this team, after 19 years of not winning a playoff game, are in the divisional round. That your offensive coordinator / former quarterback is the coordinator of the number 2 seed that didn't do like we did, which was wet the bed against the Green Bay Packers, is also doing well. And that Mike McCarthy didn't want to take a chump change contract because his contract was in the bottom tier of the NFL. All right. So now speculation. We heard the list from Michael that he got from one case, basically putting Kellen Moore at the top of the list because, of course, the Cowboys like to hire people they know. And Kellen Moore, being a former quarterback here, being an offensive coordinator and so on, is one of those candidates. I would have to say Mike Zimmer might be a possibility if he actually wants the job, which is kind of crazy because it didn't seem like he really was kind of like, I want to be wanted. I want to be wanted. Now, keep in mind, the Cowboys are cheap. Mike Tomlin, which was floated out there last night by Jimmy Johnson, maybe Jimmy Johnson had an inkling that this was not going to go well and threw this out here about Mike Tomlin. Problem with Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin was getting paid $16 million a year to be the coach, one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. That doesn't bode well with the Dallas Cowboys and their motto of, we're dirt cheap. Let's now put in here, breaking, Deion Sanders is a favorite to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Prime has an amazing relationship with Jerry Jones over 30 years now. Jones is expected to heavily pursue Sanders and could offer a contract in the range of $15 million plus range. And that's what it would take. Now, Deion opening the door up, maybe Deion knew a little bit right here and put it out here. The only way that this works is if I coach my sons. And this may make it, this may be where Deion literally is putting out there the breadcrumbs to say, get one of my kids. Get one of my kids and get them there in Dallas and I'll coach. Holly, I'm like you. I can't see Mike Zimmer wanting to do this. Now, I'm going to say we've got Jason Witten, who, we kind of talked about. Jason Witten is going to be a great coach in the NFL one of these days. That guy, of course, is also on the list at the moment. But I would say if you're going to talk about going to a guy who's got no experience, and when we look at guys like DeMeco Ryans, who's done pretty well with the Texans, they got mollywopped this week, but he's turned that franchise around. They just, got beat by a better team. Excuse me, they didn't get beat, excuse me, let me rephrase that. They just beat another team. And you look at where he went, he did not have that much experience. I'm going to say crazy shit that I have to put Al Harris in there. If nothing else, they'll probably interview Al Harris for the Rooney Rule. You've got to at least interview a minority candidate. You got him in the house. He'll at least get interviewed. Steve Sarkisian, if you want to go the college route, he's just down the street, has a relationship with the Joneses, literally just played at AT&T. You have to think that he's a candidate. Others out there say Bill Belichick has a $10 million buyout from North Carolina. But what I'm going to say more than anything else is the Joneses are going to have to make a splash. They're going to have to do something big. They're going to have to do something big here to appease the masses. And you don't fire somebody and take a backwards move. Unfortunately, Urban Meyers. Oh my God, please. Urban Meyer, do you guys remember how Urban Meyers was just a couple of years ago with Jacksonville? Jacksonville. Literally. That's not a, oh my God. That, my friends, is not a move going further. Dave Campo. Kellen Moore. Y'all just throwing out names now. Y'all just literally, why don't we just go ahead and go to Tom Landry's grave and see if we can get some DNA and do a clone of him, Brian Flores. I would say Brian Flores. I wouldn't actually be objective to that one, but I don't see how that one works because basically Brian Flores said to the Miami organization, I know you want to tank, but I'm not tanking. And he has a lawsuit against the NFL. So I don't see how that works out for the Cowboys. I don't see how that works. Kellen Moore is real, Mark. Jerry should just coach the team himself. He might as well. Then he doesn't have to pay somebody. He can eliminate the middleman. So I don't know where we go from here. And it's crazy. I'm checking to see if where my brethren are. Mike Fisher was earlier. Vosh is on now. Okay. Vosh is reporting it now too. So that's where we are, good people. Everybody is now finally getting up onto it. Mike McCarthy, he wasn't fired, by the way. He was just not retained. So we need to make sure that we at least get that straight. He was not fired. But see, you have to understand too, Eagles Encore, is they may be a great coach. The question is, do they want to come here for the bullshit? Ben Johnson's not coming here. Ben Johnson, he definitely is not coming here. The only way I think Ben Johnson would come here is if the Cowboys actually hired a GM. That would be the only way I could see that happening. So, I don't know where we go. Hell, since we're going to, with retreads, get Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson's too old now to do that stuff, bro. Jimmy Johnson is way old. Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Sarkisian, Deion Sanders. I'll take Jimmy. Don't care how old he is. I'll take Pete Carroll. Well, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. You got one of the job requirements. Have to be willing to make excuses for Jerry's stupidity. Rex Ryan. I guess this makes that other shirt that I have that I got. I need to find where that one, where I put that one. The Cowboys Help Wanted shirt that Tracy made. Create your own coach like in Madden. Yeah, you're gonna have to do something. Madden coach choice plays all game. Right. The Joneses should just coach the team. Y'all end up with Mark Sanchez. I'll take Danny White. Jeez. Everybody. Oh, my God, people. This is crazy. Well, I can't wait to see Micah Parsons' podcast today. That's going to be the real deal. Why are the Cowboys always late to make the most important decisions? Bro, I wish I knew. Am I shocked this actually happened? Yeah. It don't matter who coaches the team. I'm with you on that one. It doesn't matter who coaches this team. It's going to be a mess. Stephen Jones for head coach. I'll probably ask Sean Lee. Just lost a Super Bowl winning coach. Problem is, they're still in the building. Oh, hell no. I don't want to coach this team. I'd like to know how Mike McCarthy feels. I bet he feels relieved. Justin E., shout out for being a member for 49 months. Dirty Sanchez, Ted Lasso. Yeah, let's get Ted Lasso. You and Jerry would butt heads if we coached. All the stats and brains and creates and trades to make. Okay. Jerry Jones is new head coach, Tom Osborne. Jerry doesn't replace Zeke and eight running backs. Yeah. Mark, you want to risky hire or a vet coach? At this point, it really just doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter because Jerry Jones is still the GM. And he's flat out said he's going to end up dying. He will die at his GM chair, guys. He will never, ever stop being GM. Hell, they may have some AI shit, or maybe some DNA processes that will have Jerry Jones still, after his death, running and being the GM for the Dallas Cowboys. Rex Ryan. Oh, my God. This is crazy. Mike's a good coach, but Jerry Jones is the problem. Well, Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore both approved that they're not losers. Giants are the same position as Commanders last season. They're getting a quarterback. Jerry has to wake up the NFC East. Mike Tomlin to the Cowboys. Yeah, that might be. That might be. His son, the coach from North Dallas 40. Josh Allen is 10 times better than Dak this year, ending that conversation. You can't talk to Moore. He will coach 3 more games. Filthy 500 to Dallas. Mike is shit. He called a 50-yard plus on 3rd and 3. When Jerry dies, we'll get AI Jerry. I think we will. What about Buffalo's offensive coordinator, Lincoln Riley? Mike Tomlin, oh boy. Well, I'm going to say thank you very much, Jerry Jones. You've created lots of conversation for the YouTube channel. You definitely are keeping us in business. You definitely are keeping us in business right now, because Mark Spags from Kansas City would be a great hire. Wow, go get Aaron Glenn. This is Jerry's way of staying in the news cycle since he's not in the playoffs. I agree with that, Philly Eagles fan. I agree with that 100%. Unbelievable. Wade Phillips won with Denver also. He won with as being a defensive coordinator. Big Mike was soft. And maybe that's what they need. But I still think the coach will be undermined by Jerry Jones. It's going to get crazy, to say the least. I'm mystified right now. So maybe we'll go ahead and take a break here and try and catch up on the news. And I am definitely going to be camping out here for Micah Parsons' podcast. That's going to get crazy. It's all going to get crazy, people. Okay. Alrighty. I appreciate you guys. Is Zimmer say? Listen, let me go through and clarify again, one more time. The Cowboys and Mike McCarthy were talking about a contract. The difference in this was Mike McCarthy wanted more years. The Joneses, screw you. We're not doing more years. And they basically didn't come to an agreement, and they basically said, Mike McCarthy, we're done. Mike McCarthy, about an hour ago, texted all of the coaching staff and said, guys, I'm not returning. You are free to seek employment elsewhere. We've not heard from the Joneses or the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I wish, I'm on my cell phone, which is why it's vertical. So I apologize that it's not the regular. I wish I had killed this stream and started it over so I could use the bells and whistles here in the studio. But it's okay. We got the gist of it. I'm betting that.
Now I've got North Carolina.
I bet what we get with the Cowboys won't be the instant turnaround that the Washington Commanders had, because the new coach won't have the flexibility that Dan Quinn had. It's somewhere. Okay, the contract. Let me see if I can find the whole contract. See exactly what it was for 5 years. thing is, I could never find the exact amount for it. Because depending on where you saw it, because this year it was only $4 million. So, oh, here it is. Okay, sports track. I didn't think they did coaches. Hired as signed. Okay, but it doesn't have details. It said it was hired as for a 5-year contract with Dallas. Career earnings. Yeah, they don't break it down. It's been a mystery. You can't seem to find the exact number. But one place that I saw that he was actually getting $4 million for this year, which was second lowest. We need a younger coach, get a black one. Ben Johnson will want all the keys. Yeah, Ben Johnson won't come here. So, as far as we know, we don't know of anybody coming back right now for Dallas. Any of the coaches. So they've all been text that they're free to seek employment elsewhere. So there you have it. Now, what I will say is, here's what I got from per Front Office Sports. Highest paid coaches in the NFL was Andy Reid at $20 million, Sean Payton at $18, Mike Tomlin at $16, Jim Harbaugh at $16, Sean McVay at $15, Shanahan at $14, John Harbaugh at $12, Dan Campbell at $11, Sean McDermott at $11, Mike McDonald at $9, Nick Sirianni at $7, Matt LaFleur at $6, Zach Taylor at $4.5, Dan Quinn at $4.5, Mike McCarthy at $4, Raheem Morris at $4, Kevin Stefanski $3.5, and Mike McDaniels at $3.5. So that's what I found. Right, this was going into 2024. That's what I got right here. I have not seen it where, other than I saw the article that came out this morning, but I'm like, that's not what I've seen elsewhere. Either way, whether it's 8 or 4.5, it's still the bottom tier. Mike Tomlin's at 16, and that's not in dispute. The Cowboys will keep Al Harris as defensive coordinator. I hope that happens. Jerry isn't signing any badass coach. And see, that's where, if you're the head coach, you're not allowed to bring in, the Joneses are going to hire the coaches around. That's why this is like, you're hamstringing me. I have people I want to work with, but I can't bring them in. I can't bring in the guys I want. Anything, I know McKay re-signing. I have not seen anything about Will McClay. So we don't know if Will's coming back or not.
If we get rid of Will McClay, we are screwed. Always. We are screwed without Will McClay.
Let's see. Cowboys fans bothered by Jerry Jones' reaction to Will McClay.
Will McClay leaving?
Wait, this was 5 hours ago. This is Anthony in Sports, is that? That's Mike Fisher. Jones right now is working to forge a new contract for his head coach, Mike McCarthy, and that failed. That understanding, headliner, blah, 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 blah. Cowboys Vice President of Player Personnel, Will McKay, like McCarthy, also has an expiring contract, and Jones' answers to the media questions about McClay's plans do not exactly create confidence in the GM among Cowboys Nation members. When first asked, Jones replied, "I'm not discussing any of that at all." Wow. But as always has been the case to Jerry Jones, a no comment, what ends up meaning is no comment, but I'm not discussing any of that, Jones repeated. I'm discussing how much I think of Will McClay. I'm discussing that because I'm not going to give any type of that can go one way or the other. That's like, it seems something that I need to be concerned about. I don't necessarily know that. So, here's my question. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. with feeling. Could this be the opportunity that Jerry Jones says, I'm going to clean house and I'm going to bring in somebody that's going to start the process over? I don't know. But I know one thing. You can't look at this situation right now that we have and say things are good, because they're not. And it has been a shitstorm that Jerry Jones has created, and it's got to change. We cannot continue to do things like this. It's just not obtainable. It has nothing to do with winning. And I have no idea where we go. You're excited about the future? The problem is, you could, that sounds great when you say, give him the keys. When you say give him the keys, he's not looking to give the keys away. He's not going to do that. That's not Jerry Jones's way. He wants to be back in control of everything that goes on. And that's the bottom line with it. There's no way, no how. The Joneses suck. Should have taken this long. Right, and that's the thing. If you're telling me it took you a week to figure out that you're moving on? Oh, Lordy. My screen froze. Doesn't look like it froze to me. Did it? Keeping up the Joneses. No, my screen's not froze. Must be your screen froze. I'm not frozen. You can see Gruden. Oh, that would be a splash that would make some headlines. That would definitely make some headlines. The franchise is frozen in time. Apparently, a Cowboy insider said Jerry likes him. From one yes man to another one. Jerry will announce, I'm the new head coach. How about them boys? All right, Aikman or they're not coming here. You can forget about them coaching. And neither of them have any experience. Jerry will bring back the clapper. John Gruden loves players who hit. Bill Collar hasn't coached in 10 years, man. What was it? Well, all we can do is speculate right now. That's all we can do. And there'll be a lot of that going on. I can guarantee you that. Jason Garrett. Oh, God. Come on, people. All right, you good people. I'm going to end this stream right now, and I'm going to try and find out some more news about what's going on. And Kyle Shanahan. Okay. But Kyle Shanahan's got a job. So, all righty, good people. Peace out.